Okay, our last block. Let me get this here and I'll show you what it is. It will finish up. Well, I know I put it in here. There it is. Okay, the last block is going to be the picket fence, and it'll be monochromatic, and I'll put these patterns up for you, so don't worry. This is 2 3.5-inch squares that we're going to need of contrasting color. We're going to need a 3-inch by 3-inch by 1 3/4 inch. So 3 inches by 1 3/4 inches. You'll need 2 of those. You'll need a 1 3/4 inch square, a light and a dark, a light and a dark. So 2 of each, okay? First thing we're going to do is make our half square triangle, and then we'll cut it down to the size that we need after a bit. Okay. So we're going to draw a line again on the diagonal like we did before, and we're going to stitch on both sides of that line 1/4 inch. Oop, dangled up my thread. All's well in love and war, and I'm not having one of those days. I recorded this block earlier, and my phone was out of battery right through the block there, so I had to recut it out, and we're going to refilm it here. So I don't want to get that bollock step on that. There we go. Okay. Well, Karen, for pity's sake. This never happens. This never happens, right? To anyone else. Oh, I love it. Okay. I think we're all good there. Got the thread in the right spot. All right. Now we'll continue on. So we're going to stitch down this other side. We'll just trim those off, and we're going to cut this apart just like we did the other half square triangles. We're going to cut it apart right on the line there. Okay, and that's going to give us our 2 half square triangles. Finger press open, and then we'll take them to the ironing board and we'll just press them lightly to make sure they're where we want them. Now, what I'm going to suggest you do is set those aside, and we'll trim those after we make this part of the block. So now we're going to take one of the small lights and the small dark pieces. We're going to stitch those together. And you can chain piece these. This is such a quick block, and it would be so much fun to, might have to do a big quilt out of this, like a lap size or something. It's pretty fun. Okay, now we're going to finger press this to the dark side. Finger press to the dark side, and we're going to take a dark and put it on here and stitch it down. Okay. I don't like how that's lined up. This is what happens when you're in a hurry. Okay, there we go. All right, that's better. And we'll finger press that to the dark side. And that'll go to the ironing board for a quick press. That's going to be one. And then the other one's going to be the same way. We're going to go ahead and stitch those together. So I was saying earlier, my garden is just really coming along nice. It was kind of slow this year. I think the heat kind of stunted everything because it was so hot. I might have just gotten it in late too. I think we got our garden in like maybe a week or two later than we normally would have, just because there was a frost and I didn't want to lose stuff. Okay, so we have these two pieces done. Now, what I'm going to suggest is before you trim these down, just measure up what your little block is here. We've got a, looks like 3-inch square block maybe, yep, okay. So we're going to trim these to 3 inches square. So get that down there. There's 3 inches. I like this ruler. It's a Creative Grids ruler, and it's got 3.5, and it's got 1/2 inch and regular inch, depending upon which way you turn the ruler. So it's a pretty functional little toy, but sometimes I can get a little confused. Depends on how much water I drank today. Okay, so we're going to do a 3-inch. And another 3-inch off this side. We'll make sure that's squared up. When you're doing piecework, it's always good to check your sizes, check your measurements, make sure things are the way you want them to be before you start stitching things together, because otherwise it can be a little problematic in the finish. Okay, so we're gonna stitch this to this and this to this, and I'll show you afterwards how we're gonna press that. We're going to press in the direction and you can chain piece these. I'm just stopping to show you. So we're going to press so that this seam is going to go this direction. Okay, this triangle should be open and laying flat just like that. Okay, that's one, and we'll do the same with this one. This is a darling block. I've already made it up, and so this will be my second one today. Just for you. Just for the phone. What did we do before we had all that stuff? Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. And we're going to again finger press this to this direction. Okay, that way they're going to nest when we do it. Okay, I'm going to press these real quick. Okay, then we're going to flip them over. We're going to nest them together like that. You should be able to feel those seams snug up against each other. Tuck a pin to the side of your seam line. You don't want to put it in your seam, okay? And then we're just going to go ahead and stitch carefully here. This is a nice block for a beginner because you only have to worry about matching up that one center seam. It's really very forgiving, so there we go. Okay, again, we're going to spin our seam. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you open your block. Let's see how we did. Perfect. Okay, we're going to pull these apart here, and you might have to give yourself a little clip in there in order to get it to go the way you want it to. Clip those threads. There we go. If I had my 30-year-old eyes on, I'd probably be able to see that pretty good. Okay, so now we'll press that again. And I'm going to give it a little squirt of some best press. I like it to lay sweet. There we go. And there's our block. And this is the one I made earlier. So you can see that four patch spins in the back there. And why do we spin? We spin because when you're going to stitch this on your sewing machine to quilt it, or on your long arm, you don't want to have big thick spots where the seams are coming together, because that's going to cause you problems. It can cause you problems. It's just nicer and smoother when you're stitching it out. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed that. That is a fun block to make, and you can just do so many things with it. If you put them together, like 4 of them, you'll end up with a dark plus sign in the middle there. You can put them on point, which is also fun. So many things you can do with this block. Anyway, have fun. Show me your monochromatic blocks next week as you make them. Just go ahead and post them in the comments, and let's share with each other what you come up with. I think it'll be fun for everybody to see what everybody else is doing. Don't be afraid. Nobody's going to be critical of you, and we just want to see that you got the concept. Okay, and then after we do that, we'll check back with each other next week, and we'll see about moving on to the split complementary. We'll do the complementary block first. So that'll be a lot of fun, and thanks for checking in with me today, and we'll see you next round. Bye.